Each year in Tallahassee, an average of 650 sexual assault survivors rise up for help. Refuge House offers sexual assault survivors medical care, mental health support, safety planning, and legal services. These services are free of charge and revolve around what the survivors want as they begin their journey from being a victim to a survivor. Whether you experienced sexual assault in childhood, years ago, or recently, you can call the Refuge House 24-hour crisis hotline at 850-681-2111. We will be there to believe, support, and connect you with any services that may help you. The Sexual Assault Response Team consists of medical professionals, law enforcement officers, and victim advocates that are specially trained in sexual assault crisis and are on call 24/7 to meet you at the Refuge House Safe Center if you recently experienced sexual assault. The Safe Center is a private and confidential space in the TMH campus. Here are some of our sexual assault response team members that are poised to believe, advocate, and empower you to begin your journey of healing from sexual assault.
Our state-of-the-art Safe Center, which we're so proud of, gives survivors the privacy that they deserve as we together walk through the process of immediate crisis and healing. Sexual assault knows no boundaries. Sometimes we are assaulted by people we're married to, we're dating a stranger sometimes. Even members of our own family can be perpetrators. It happens with weapons, with physical force, verbal threats, using alcohol and drugs as a weapon, when you're impaired, and when you just are walking down the street. No age, no gender, no sexuality is exempt from these assaults. I'm Meg Baldwin, and I rise up together to provide support to those that have experienced or have been affected by sexual assault.
I started in domestic violence and learned quickly that sexual assault and domestic violence often go hand in hand. So I began prosecuting sexual violence cases as well. Often I would have domestic victims come in and reveal a sexual assault to me in the process of preparing for a case that had nothing to do with sexual assault. So that's sort of how I began working with sexual assault survivors. Often people who did not even identify themselves as sexual assault survivors. So that's how it sort of became important to me to advocate and fight for the rights of women who have been abused in that way. Any success that I have in a sexual assault case is solely due to the bravery of the victim. So for me, when that verdict comes back and it's a just verdict and a guilty verdict and it gives some sense of closure or satisfaction to the victim, I'm just overcome with joy for her, because they're so difficult to prosecute, and it's just an awesome moment when justice is served. We at the State Attorney's Office work to support victims of crime and prosecute perpetrators of violence in our community. I am Georgia Kappelman, Assistant State Attorney, and I rise up together to achieve justice for sexual assault survivors.
I am Investigator Jeff Kaplan with Tallahassee Police Department's Special Victims Unit. In a perfect world, we would like to be able to collect all the evidence and all the information that we can as quickly as possible to preserve it and build the best case possible, moving towards prosecution to give to the State Attorney's Office. However, we also are extremely victim-centered, and we want to make sure that the victim transitioning into being a survivor is comfortable with the direction that this goes. And so I try to present all the information and all the options available so that they can make an informed and comfortable decision for how they want things to move forward from this point. Our Special Victims Unit at Tallahassee Police Department goes through extensive training for trauma-informed interviewing. We always strive to put survivors at the heart of our work. My name is Investigator Jeff Kaplan. and I rise up together to assist the survivor in pursuing justice and safety regarding their assault and return to their day-to-day life.
Medically, we offer anything imaginable, and as far as what a sexual assault survivor needs, the hospital is very cooperative with the Refuge House, and all supplies, including antibiotics and equipment needed for medical care or forensic evidence, is available 24/7. The purpose of a physician or a sexual assault nurse examiner in a sexual assault case is to provide trauma-informed care by offering that patient education, appropriate STD prevention, and possibly collecting forensic evidence, all while providing quality medical care. This specialized training allows us to answer questions and treat sexual assault cases in a safe, private, and comfortable environment. Every case we see is unique, and I'm grateful that the survivors reached out for help. I'm Dr. Bo Manassa, and I'm the Medical Director of Refuge House's SAAM program, and I rise up together to turn patients into survivors.
As a sexual assault victims advocate, I'm trained to know every option available to those that walk through our doors and explore the options that work best for them. The survivors are the champion of their own experience, so my job is to empower them to accomplish their goals. Advocating means fighting for it and alongside survivors for justice and supporting and empathizing with them in their most difficult moment. At the end of the day, our most important responsibility is to believe every survivor and let them know they're not alone. My name is Shayla Jones, and I have been an advocate for 9 years, and I rise up together to empower victims to become survivors.
"86% of women in jail are sexual violence survivors. We must rise up together to magnify all survivors' voices. I'm Felicia Cherry, and I'm the corrections counselor at the Refuge House. This poem is what it sounds like when a survivor rises up against sexual violence. If I was a flower, if I were a flower, I would be a rose because it represents love. I would be a rose because I am beautiful, and though I have thorns, I am still wanted. If I was a flower, I would be a cactus flower because I am life with and without water in the desert. If I was a flower, I would be a sunflower. I would be a sunflower because I smile big and I shine even brighter. If I was a flower, I would be a tiger lily because I'm pretty and I'm a little feisty. I would be a blue bonnet because I'm wild and beautiful. I would be a rough cactus because on the outside I am rough, but on the inside I am smooth. If I was a flower, I would be another water lily because I continue to blossom in spite of my surroundings. But really, if I was a flower, I would be an entire rose bush because when I am pruned, I come back stronger and more beautiful than ever.
Please call 850-681-2111, our 24-hour crisis hotline, and speak with our sexual assault team that can empower you to begin your journey to becoming a survivor. You are worthy of every opportunity and service to heal from sexual assault. Together, we rise up against sexual assault.